This is LWT, your weekend ITV. Now, the very latest world news.
Disaster at Ukraine air show leaves 78 people dead. Former Tory chairman launches fierce attack on party critics. And tears for England as sprint hopefuls crash out of the games.
The ITV Weekend News with Shuli Ghosh.
Good evening. 78 people were killed today when a fighter jet crashed into a crowd of spectators at a military air show in western Ukraine. More than 100 others were injured. It's the worst disaster ever to happen at such an event. 7 children were among the dead. There'll be a national day of mourning on Monday. Both pilots in the plane managed to eject safely before it crashed. Neil Connery's report contains images of the moment the plane came down, which you may find distressing.
In a matter of seconds, a spectacular air stunt turns into carnage. A Ukrainian Su-27 fighter plane loses control, crashing into thousands of spectators. The horror and disbelief etched on every single face. Families who'd come here to celebrate Ukraine's Air Force were now helping each other in the chaos. This spectator said the plane was flying very low over there and then it exploded. Both pilots ejected just before. The 2 pilots, who are both experienced, survived and are being treated for shock and other injuries. A full inquiry is now underway to establish what went wrong. The emergency services fear the number of those killed could still rise. Many of the injured are in a critical condition. Such has been the devastation on the ground, officials are still not sure how many lives have already been claimed. Ukrainian President Leonid Kuchma has cut short his vacation in the Crimea. The Russian President Vladimir Putin has sent his condolences. The fighter jet was conducting complicated air stunts at the time of the crash, but initial reports from some military sources suggest engine failure may have played a part. Whatever the answers, for now, those affected are left trying to cope with the unbearable. Neil Connery, ITV News, Moscow.
The former chairman of the Conservatives hit back today at critics within his own party. David Davis was speaking for the first time since being demoted from his post. He criticised the campaign of what he called cowardly character assassination.
Off one of the world's most impressive fighter planes, but now it's seconds away from carnage. The jet crashed into one of the busiest parts of the air show. This was supposed to be a day out for families. This little girl survived, many didn't. Wreckage lay on the runway where the spectators had been standing. Many of the pictures from the scene are too horrific for us to show. Firemen were quickly bringing the blaze under control. But a far greater problem was faced by the medical teams. They were struggling to cope with so many injured and so many dead. The people being treated here were the lucky ones.